Hey everybody, welcome to the Concept Challenge. Two artists will never approach a concept the exact same way, and that's because they have their own unique vision, their own unique style, and that's what makes this so exciting. So in these competitions, I choose two artists and I present them with a concept. And the concept can be anything. It could be a color, an emotion, an object. And from there, they have to interpret that in whatever way that they see fit. And this is all about creativity, and that's what makes it so exciting. The Concept Challenge is true for any artist, whether they are a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a painter, or a photographer. Now today I'm working with two incredibly talented, incredibly creative makeup artists, Yvonne MacInnis and Lijha Stewart. And when I present them with a concept, they're going to interpret it using their own style and take it two totally different directions. And I cannot wait to photograph what they create with the art of makeup. So when we're all done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite all of you to vote. Who do you think won this competition? I want you to put your votes in the comments, and I'm going to choose one of you to win a 20 by 30 metal print by Printique. So you're going to own a piece of art that features the look that you think was the best. So be sure to comment below. Let's go take a look. All right, guys, are you ready to hear the theme of today's competition? All right, so today's theme is actually, it's not cheating, I swear, it's actually inspired by Lijha. When I first discovered her work, there was a particular look that I fell in love with. And today's theme is actually kind of selfish because I never got to do that look. So this one is for me. What I saw that I was inspired by was this beautiful look of intricate appliques, and the appliques were actually pearls. So today's theme is all pearl appliques.
Amazing.
And I have a variety of different sizes and shapes, and there aren't any particular rules in how you use this. Put it all over the face, in the hair, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. You can use gems, glitter, or nothing, keep the skin clean. So
you definitely have the advantage because you have little hands that do detailed work. I gotta step it up. All right.
But you do bigger stuff than me. Like, you go big or you go home. So I'm gonna have to step it up from like my size perspective, I feel.
Okay. It is all about your creativity. But we're gonna make this just a little bit harder, a little bit more challenging. I know how difficult this is to put on individual, like I've seen how long it takes, but I'm not gonna give you all the time in the world. And so today you will have 1 hour, start to finish, whatever it is at an hour is all you get, that is what you're competing with, okay?
Let's go.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, so I really love looking at Pinterest because it's a great source of inspiration. And the worst thing you can do when you're trying to create a creative makeup is look at other people's makeups, because that's, like, I feel like soul sucking and not inspiring. So I'm going to use the creative makeup formula, and I'm going to put together my ideas using the theme and the inspiration of pearls. And I'm looking at a few things here that are different forms of art but use this sort of pointillism idea, and I'm just trying to develop in my mind how I'm going to apply that based on like the morphology of my model's bone structure in her face.
Okay, so, you know, Lindsay already is inspired by this pearl thing, but I want to give her something really different and kind of weird. So I'm really inspired by textile. So this is a little bit of cheesecloth, and I'm going to incorporate it in with the pearls. And I'm going to kind of meld this idea of this like classic material like cheesecloth with a classic material like pearls, but then meld these amazing high pigment, really high contrast colors. So I'm going with neons, I'm gonna be using the creative makeup, and I'm gonna be going with this like watercolor painterly texture. And the cool thing about this cheesecloth is that I can stick it to the skin and it almost becomes like a texture. So it's gonna be this mixture between like cloth, human skin, and technology.
So I see that you planned some stuff out here. So what are you doing?
Yes, so because there's a lot of symmetry and balance involved in the design, which is not my strong suit, I really felt like planning it out with a little bit of white eyeliner was the best way to go.
Totally.
So then when I go back in with my prosthetic adhesive, I can just go over the dots that I've already created and then apply the different size beads according to my design.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Otherwise it would be not symmetrical at all and probably a completely different design when I was finished.
Well, I'm noticing that like the two of you, like you really planned it out, and I think she went with a little bit more feeling, but don't you guys usually go the other way?
Yeah, usually I just throw paint at the wall and see what sticks, and she spends all of her time preparing everything down to like the color of paint that she's gonna use on her palette. So that's really funny that we just switched roles for this challenge. Let's just see how it works out.
You look close to done.
I'm feeling confident.
What else are you gonna do?
Now I'm gonna focus on the details. So I'm gonna go and curl the eyelashes. I'm gonna actually add a little bit of like highlight on the nose, maybe some of the skin that's showing, adding a little bit of a glow, create some highlight on the lips. So I tend to take too much time when I work. And so I'm learning actually from my amazing wife that like going big and then focusing in can sometimes be helpful. And so when we're working in the world of editorial, we don't get extra time. Like everyone's time is money, everyone's on set working. And so I like to try to work fast. And so I'm really challenging myself in that way.
It looks killer.
Thanks.
You're doing great. Okay, ladies, time's up. You'll turn around for me, face the opposite direction, away from one another. Okay, perfect. Okay, time for the reveal. 3, 2, 1.
That's so cool! What? That's so pretty!
She's like, it's so ethereal and soft and beautiful.
You see what I meant? You switched.
Oh my god.
This is literally like a makeup I would normally do, and it's the makeup you would normally
I said she's probably over there doing all this crazy layers and layers and layers of texture.
Oh, you know me well.
Wow.
This is beautiful. I love it.
So I think I did pretty well. I mean, I definitely tried something a little bit different using symmetry and this like mandala as my inspiration. It was definitely outside of my comfort zone, but I love a challenge. I always say like, if you're uncomfortable, you're probably learning something. So that's always a good thing. I was really surprised of how different my piece was versus Lijha's, because normally I think we probably would have done the opposite. She's very detail oriented and I'm very colorful and love to throw paint. So I just love the contrast of the two and that we kind of switch brains during this competition. I think a competition like this is so fun and inspirational because you get to see one medium used many different ways. And it actually gives everybody watching this a chance to explore what they might do using pearls as their medium too.
I think I did pretty well. I really was surprised how fast I moved, and I think the hardest part about it was not doing too much, like knowing when to stop, because I was like, do I add pigment? Do I keep adding things? And I'm really happy that I stopped when I stopped. I think Yvonne did so good. I love what she created. It's really beautiful and soft, and it kind of transports me to this like otherworldly place. I feel like she's a goddess from another time and space. So for Yvonne and I, creativity is really what we believe is our birthright. We have to take up space with creativity, and it's all about being as free as possible. And so the way you get to that space is through structure and through refinement of your skills. And so I would leave you guys with a tip to keep practicing being creative. It's about the practice, it's about the process, and find confidence within your creativity.
All right, now we have Lijha's look on set, and with all of this beautiful saturated color, I thought that going something really high key and clean would allow those colors to really, really glow. So let's take a look at my setup. Now I am using just 2 lights here. My main light is a magnum reflector. This magnum reflector gives me a little bit of a harder light, but I didn't want it to be too specular, too shiny, so I added a sock which just softens and smooths it out a little bit. Then my second light is a 3 by 4 foot softbox behind the subject, giving me a white background and also giving me a little bit of wraparound light on the side of her face. And then lastly, I have Elastilite Triflector as my fill light, 3 reflectors below, giving her bright catch lights in the eyes and filling in all of those shadows. So it's clean, it's crisp, it's high key, and with a little bit of contrast, it really allows this look to pop. Now, I have chosen my Canon R5 because I want to see this image printed huge, so I want a lot of megapixels. And I'm grabbing my 70-200 because I want a tight crop, because it's all about the detail here. So I want to get in nice and tight so I can see like every single strand in that material. I want to see every pearl. It's perfection. All right, so let's shoot. Perfect. That's great. I love that. Chin up a little. Beautiful. That's stunning. Great. That's great. And lean there and chin down just a little. And then chin back towards me a tiny bit. Great. And then tilt your head just a teeny. Yep, perfect. Beautiful. Good. All right, so now we have Yvonne's look on set, and this is just so ethereal, and so of course the lighting should feel that way. But you know what? The lighting for the first shot was pretty ethereal. I had that softbox behind and the reflectors and all that, so I just changed a couple of things. Took my main light, that Magnum reflector, and I lowered it a little bit to help reduce the shadows on the face. And then those reflectors filling in underneath, well, I raise them up. What that does is it fills in even more. So basically, the lighting that I've chosen here eliminates shadows, and it is as glowing and heavenly as possible. All right, so chin this way just a bit. Perfect, real soft. And chin down a little, yes. Gorgeous.
Can't seem to believe in the thought, but everyone says that it's obvious.
Okay, these looks are clearly in totally different directions, and that's what it's all about. There is no one right answer to any given concept. So now it's your turn to get involved, and be sure to vote for the winner below. And remember, one of you is going to win a print from Printique. So stay tuned next time for more of the Concept Challenge.